So we're going to conclude our podcast now, and I want to, although we're running a bit long on time, I think I want to ask both of these questions. So I'm going to ask them. The first one is that you obviously have spent a very long time researching olfaction, and I wanted to know if you've developed olfactocentrism, or where your world is just all revolving around smells and olfaction, and how you approach your biases and keep yourself curious also about the multisensory aspects that our world has to offer.
Well, I don't think, if I can defend myself, that I have olfactory centrism. I think I have, appropriate olfactory awareness that most people are really just blind to it and don't have. So I don't go into a situation, all I'm doing is smelling. I'm not, seeing or hearing or getting any of the other appreciation. I think I'm constantly in a multisensory world, but recognizing that smell is actually part of that multisensory world, as opposed to for not even recognizing that that's part of my experience. So I think that I have an awareness which makes me appreciate the five senses dimensionality of the world rather than a two-dimensional appreciation of it, let's just say. So I don't think that I personally do have a bias that's actually in any way negatively impacting my existence or the work I do with other people or other organizations. I think everything that I do is actually just trying to shine a little bit of a spotlight or make people realize there's something else going on. Because one of the things that's also really interesting about the sense of smell, and one major reason I think that it constantly is overlooked, is because smells are invisible. And we are so visual as creatures, and we always want to know what it is. So if we don't see it, we have to have the word for it or know the thing for it. So the semantic information is the primary guiding force. And when something is invisible, like smell, we often can actually discount it even being there. So if people don't know what a smell is, and you say, oh, did you smell the something or other that was in the room? They will actually say no, because they don't know what it is. And if you say, oh, well, actually, there was a smell here, or there is a smell here, it's this perfume, so-and-so, it's this new smell, you may never have smelled it before. And then they go, oh, that's what it is. Yes, I can smell it. So you can actually turn perception on, even though they were ostensibly like picking it up. Their brain basically canceled it out because they didn't know what it was. And there was a really good sort of basic kind of philosophical premise that it isn't that we know what we see what we know. So knowing what it is makes us able to see it, and we definitely smell what we know. So if I don't know what it is, I don't smell it. And I think that that's a really important kind of guiding force of how the human brain is organized and how we perceive the world around us.
Great. So I usually ask my guests to look forward in time and predict what they hope for future research, which you actually kind of did. But as someone who's been working and researching for 30 years and kind of dedicated part of your life to this, I wanted to ask you to reflect back. So has the perception, the approaches, and research of olfaction changed? And was it better from your perspective? And what do you think of this? I think we're in a bit of a scent revolution right now, or it's like the hot topic. So I want to know also what you think about that.
Okay, great. Well, we're definitely at the highest point that we've ever been, at least in terms of sort of, as far as I know, sort of modern culture. I mean, there are, more ancient cultures where smell was actually much more important and much more a part of daily life and appreciation. But at least in terms of, let's say, the last couple of centuries, I would say that the sense of smell right now is getting the best attention that it's ever gotten, and especially from an academic and from a scientific and a sort of a technological perspective, that people are really putting money, they're putting effort, they're putting resources into understanding the sense of smell and developing new techniques and new technologies connected with the sense of smell. So I see that as all being very positive. So I hope, my major hope is that this momentum isn't both maintained and gained. So I definitely think that living now from who I am is like the best time to be around and being involved in this field. And I just hope that this continues to grow. I mean, I did spend at least the first 1.5 to 2 decades of my work career, trying to make people realize this wasn't just some little tiny thing that nobody had to care about. And, maybe if I'm talking to people who are in perfumery or other like sort of esoteric fields, like they got it, or people who actually had the experience of losing the sense of smell, like they got it, but everyone else did not get it. I think that maybe now the most people are getting it that have been able to get it. And I just hope that continues. So that's my hope for the future.
Great. Okay, well, thank you for joining me today and also taking your time and offering all of your wisdom to me and to our audience today. And so, yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day as well.
Well, thank you so much, Sophia. It's been a delight.